By now, you know how to find job posts, and more importantly, you know how to read them so you actually understand what is required in a job description. Being able to identify those top skills and the language of the job post is extremely important, and we'll discover why. Most of the resumes that I see are very general. They're not targeted. They're basically a list of things that the person has done, a list of proud accomplishments, perhaps. And basically, it's saying, this is who I am, this is all I've done, this is all I'm proud of. What do you think? And what is happening is that this kind of resume is actually trying to speak to everyone, but the problem is that when you try and speak to everyone, you speak to no one. This general resume is the same resume that people will send to Apple and Tesla, US Bank, McDonald's. It doesn't matter where. It's that resume. But the problem is that when employers write and post a job description, they are not looking for just anyone. They are looking for someone that can do a specific job very well. And so your resume needs to be tailored. It needs to be targeted. So if you have a target job, your resume needs to be able to tailor to hit that job, to show them that you are qualified and you can do that job. That is what's going to get you noticed. Now let's take a look at from the perspective of the recruiter. Every job opening, on average, will get around 200 to 300 job applications. Now this is just the average. If there is companies with bigger names, better brands like Apple, Google, they will get these by the thousands. Additionally, every recruiter, on average, will juggle around 20 job openings at a time. So that means that they literally do not have the time to read through every word that is on your resume. They don't have the time to study it as much as you study it. And so what it means is that when they get your application, your resume gets about 6 to 10 seconds of spotlight. In 6 to 10 seconds, the recruiter will decide, is this individual worth additional time? Because if it's not, I got better things to do. I need to find somebody who's qualified. And so this is why your resume and tailoring your resume is so important. Because if the recruiter is reading and they find proud accomplishments, but they tie not at all to the job that they're trying to fill, it will seem like you're not a fit. You're not qualified. And the thing is, you might be perfectly qualified. They just happen to land on the one thing that does not speak to the job description. So their general rule of thumb with the resume is whatever doesn't help you, it's actually hurting you. And so your resume needs to be focused and it needs to emphasize on those top skills that you found from the job description and be able to use the language as well. Now the language is important because you might know a certain perhaps software by one name, but perhaps that software goes by 3 different names. The recruiter has been told, I want it name number 1. And you use name number 2 or name number 3. The recruiter looks at it. They are not an expert in that field as you are. And so to them, it's apples to oranges. It's not the same. And so you need to be able to use the same language that the job post uses. Now, there's a couple things to help you get noticed, and that is to make sure that you make it easier for the recruiter. Remember, you have 6 to 10 seconds. So make sure that those top skills are front and center, and make sure that the job post, your resume, is easy to understand. From your summary, to your core competencies, to your professional experience, all of these things must say, I am qualified for the job. These are my skills. This is the skills you're asking for. This is what you're looking for. This is what I can do for you. So by doing this, you're going to get your resume to actually pass this first 6 to 10 second glance to make sure that you actually get noticed by the recruiter.